La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra vez contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, squaddies. Nice to see you. To see you, it's nice. How's everybody doing? Let's get into it. Quite a few updates to get to because I've been away. Got a lot of Carol Lund member for 30 months. Thank you, Carol Lund. Always an awesome podcast. Well, it's awesome to have you all here. You make half the podcast. You make half of the podcast what it is. Elaine Parker, thank you so much. Elaine, did you get your keyring yet? Let us know if it arrived. Thank you for being a member for 35 months. Also, who else? Who else? I did see another person. I'm gonna find you. And thank you also for the super sticker, Elaine Parker. I think there was someone else. I feel like I'm missing someone. I saw another member, Carol Lund. Okay, I'm so sorry if I'm actually missing someone, but I was so sure I saw someone else. Oh, guys, there's this new feature now where I can put your... Let's have a see what this looks like. Comments take the stage. View live comments from viewers will appear on screen during your live stream. Keep the conversation going. I mean, is anything coming up on... I've just switched it on. Maybe I need to actually open up YouTube. Can you all see your comments on the screen? Val Rich, that looks like a new name I haven't seen. How are you? Hi to all the regulars and the mods. Hi Tanya, hey Reba, hey Wendy. Let me just see what this looks like on the screen. Can you all see the comments sliding on the screen? I have to just open up my YouTube app on my phone. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, now I see. It was taking a while for me to see it on my side, but I see it now. That's a cool feature. You can see all your shady comments on the on the screen now. Cool. Okay. Let's get on to it. Because I've been away for a while. Come one, come all, and see karma play out as it has been doing, and the haters still have not learned. So Lorraine and Loose Women, which are both morning shows, daytime TV shows in the UK, on the big networks, on ITV, they have announced big shake-ups to its daytime schedule amid huge cuts. So Lorraine and Loose Women are being axed for half of the year. Lorraine and Loose Women have both been platforms of vitriol towards Harry and Meghan. On Loose Women, I think the only person who has been very supportive on Loose Women was Denise Welch. But Denise could actually carry a whole show cast on her own, and she also gets work in other places in media as well. I think she's actually a lot more in terms of just like name recognition and clout between all the ladies. She's the most famous of the lot. So I think she'll be fine anyway. But the rest of them, they can go. Lorraine, she can go. Karma strikes once again. It's actually phenomenal. And they still have not learned. Yeah, the ancestors are working overtime. Couldn't have happened to a better person, indeed. Indeed. Thank you so much, Lottie, for the super sticker. Very, very much appreciated. Can I just give a shout out to, I'm gonna touch upon the Diddy case later in the podcast. Let's get through the royal stuff first, because my channel isn't or not really about that. But I did want to give a shout out because she also does show love to Harry and Meghan, to Tisa Tells. Tisa is, I think, one of the most hardworking women on YouTube. Like, she has been covering the Diddy case since it all started to unravel. She is literally at the courthouse. She's doing lives. One of her lives today actually had 12,000 viewers, which is insane. So congratulations to her. Like, I love to see another woman in the YouTube space just doing so well. And she's just so good at what she does. She's like a young Wendy Williams. We love to see it. Okay, so on to the next thing. Yeah, karma's hitting hard. Meghan's Instagram, which, by the way, hit 3 million subscribers to followers, sorry, today. So congratulations to Meghan. We are now back where we were during her pre-royal life. And we are only in May, January, February, March, April, May. So that's 3 million followers in 5 months. So by the end of the year, I'd say maybe 6 million. We could get to 6 million by the end of the year. Incredible. But she's been giving us some teasers. As of official, she posted this and it says simplicity in the caption, one in the middle. So I'm guessing there'll be more tea flavors. She's also just been posting like stuff from her rose garden and from her back garden. She's been consistently posting every Sunday. And she posted this very interesting post with the song Doing It Well by Cool J. Who LL actually reposted this, by the way. Interesting song choice. We were joking in the DMs that, did she pick this song because she saw you all talking about her husband's dingaling on Twitter? There was this one tweet about Harry's dingaling that went like super viral. I think when I looked at it, it had about 5,000 likes, and that was like 2 days ago. Like, you all better leave this woman's husband alone. Although, to be fair, Harry did talk about his own dingaling in spare, so you know. Um, Twists and Trials. The ancestors burned down the plantation house here in the US too. They're handling business. I saw this. This was all over my feed. I mean, the fact that there are still actual plantation houses tells you a lot. Heather, maybe if they criticize the royal family as much as Harry and Meghan, there will be funds for these shows. Exactly. Jeremy Vine is probably next. I think TV is struggling in general, though. I mean, I haven't had a TV in my room for years. I don't watch the TV. The only time I watch TV is if I go around to my parents' house because they have a TV in the living room. But even when I was still living in my parents' house, from the time I was a teen, I refused to have a TV in my room. I just don't like most mainstream TV. Haven't done for a while. I watch Netflix. It's very few things that I even like on streaming. I probably watch more YouTube than anything else. Kathy G said, "Love wins, karma is patient." In so I'm not surprised that these TV networks are failing and flailing. Yeah, Janae, she saw those nasty posts on Twitter. She saw those posts. One of her friends showed her those posts. Oh my god. Awful. You lot are awful. Behave yourselves. That's somebody's husband. Speaking of husbands, yes, it was Harry and Meghan's 7th wedding anniversary. And just gorgeous all around. Everything about Meghan's look was timeless, elegant, easy to replicate. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be haute couture, but just the shape of this dress. You could take this to a simple seamstress and she can make you something like this. Truly gorgeous. Of course, that day is well, now that we reflect on it, it definitely brings up mixed emotions. Hate is back. Who couldn't get over the fact that these two truly married for love, not for duty. There's this ridiculous notion of duty. Like, truly, the people within the royal institution are just so emotionally stunted, emotionless, loveless, cold. And for what? So you can wear big hats and uh, no, not worth it in my opinion. To commemorate their anniversary, Meghan did post some pictures both on her personal Instagram and on As Ever. Gorgeous picture. And also a collage of their the 7 years that they've been married, and I think there's probably some pictures from before they got married as well. And I mean, it's actually insane that it's been 7 years, y'all. 7 years. And here's the 7 more, and another 7 more, and another 7 more. I truly believe that Harry and Meghan are going to be together until the end. Some other people around here, left to be seen. I believe they will stand the test of time. They will make it. If they've made it through everything they've made it through to this point, what could break them? Because all of the forces came together to break them and failed miserably. The biggest example of love wins you've ever seen. Blake Lively got married to Ryan Reynolds at a plantation. I heard about this. I don't understand what. So do they? Are the plantations and the buildings that are still there? Do they just turn them into like wedding venues and restaurant? I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't be turned into places of commemoration, reflection, education. That seems like the common sense, ethical thing to do. Not for them to be used as wedding venues. Like, what? That is insane. And didn't JLo also, when she remarried to Ben Affleck, didn't she have her wedding at a plantation? Yes, Black Queen, please do thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, Gwendolyn, that whole row with Charles and the rest, trolling. So, do you know what? When you are so bitter, the idea of love actually repulses you because you don't have it within yourself. It's like when a very dysfunctional person meets somebody who's very at peace with themselves. It agitates them because it holds the mirror up to what they are, or rather what they're not. This collage that Meghan posted on her Instagram, which now has 3 million followers, this was in a double spread in, I think this is the Daily, is this the Daily Fail? It's one of these tabloids. Now, have you ever seen a double spread for, I don't know, one of Kate's early years or whatever it is she does, or for anything that the royals do outside of major events, and they're dissecting every picture? Yeah, 7 long years and they're still doing it well. The highest rated royal wedding. Oh, so they got married there and then denied knowing it was a plantation? Please. Please. So they have them as hotels and restaurants without the history? That is insane. Yeah, you're right, hates me. They're making money off the backs of the enslaved. They could turn them into centers of education and pull them back into the community. Gosh. There's a Whitney plantation that's dedicated to the history of what happened there in the South. I mean, I feel like every plantation should be that. And the money should go back into causes that help the African American community. Like that just seems like the common sense thing to me that you should be doing. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, William. William, as I keep saying, I can't wait for him to be king. I am generally excited for William to be king. Because let's just play. We'll play the video first, and then we will discuss, because there's a lot to discuss, and the video tells you everything. This is William showing up to one of these. I think this is in Bath, and it was one of these ceremonial events. He was. It was celebrating the anniversary of the Order of Bath, and I think is to recognize military and civil achievements. And he was installed as like a knight or a master of the something. I don't know exactly what, but that's what this was for. And look at who showed up, or rather who didn't. Now notice there are all those barricades. All those barricades, but no people. Now, if your argument is, well, they have to have the barricades for security, well, they could have still cordoned off the area without having all those barricades up there. They were expecting crowds, or they thought crowds would come. That's why those barricades were there and nobody came. And why would they? I didn't even know what this was until this video came up on my feed. I believe Charles was also there, actually. So nobody even came to see Charles. Lottie, you said, I heard that Kate Middleton's sister and her husband are divorced. Anyone else heard that? No, I haven't. That's the first time I'm actually hearing about this. Haven't heard any rumors about that, if I'm honest. Janae, William looks like he has those liver spots that older people get. What's a liver spot? Genuinely don't know what that is. Still no explanation as to why William was swaying like a flag not too long ago. The swaying seems to have stopped, actually. So that's how you know there was definitely something going on with him, because the swaying has stopped. They definitely got that under control, whatever that was. Yeah, Tonya, the event was as empty as a car without gas in it. Hey, Ann Lewis. Welcome to the chat. Glad you made the live. Yeah, the cars, not the cows, sorry. The cars are literally louder than the people. You hear the cars more. Hey, Benjamin, I hope you're doing good too. Yeah, there were more photographers than there were crowds. But Harry shows up. Harry, who doesn't live in the UK, for his Invictus anniversary celebration. And crowds as far as the eyes can see. And they're doing all of these fake polls. Yeah, I'm going to get onto that, Wendy Lohman. All of these fake polls about how William and Kate are popular and the other royals are popular, and yet the visual evidence tells you otherwise. There was no one there. And what is the obsession with popularity when there should be a focus on impact? They're not focusing on that. Has there been any updates about Kate's projects? How often do we even hear about whatever's going on with Earthshot and the people who won those prizes? Nothing. That should be the focus. Yes, Rahini, the best part is that they only had themselves to blame. Yeah, there were more barricades than crowds. Thank you, Janine, for explaining what liver spots are. I learned something today. Oh my goodness. So yeah, these were the YouGov polls. Now, you YouGov has become more famous to me in the last few years than before. I knew what YouGov was and you know how they poll people. But I feel like Meghan has actually just made YouGov famous, because whenever it goes down with you know, things aren't going right in the palace, and things are going right with Harry and Meghan, all of a sudden somebody pulls a YouGov poll out of their back end. And all this time, I never actually knew who owns YouGov. Now, obviously, with these polls, you've got to be, you know, discerning. They do tend to be biased. But now I know who runs YouGov, and I was shocked. Nadim Zahawi and Stephen Shakespeare. Now, Stephen, I don't know so much about him, but Nadim Zahawi, I do know him. He was a very prominent member of the Conservative Party. He was um he was sacked as Conservative Party chairman for failing to adhere to the Minstrel Code to maintain a high standards of behavior and behave in a way that upholds the highest standards of having that position. Now he was also given a position during the um, COVID pandemic, and a lot of people were very unhappy about this because his background was not in health. His background is in finance. So why was someone whose background in finance given that position? Why did it not go to someone in health? And a lot of people were wondering if that's because there was more focus on making big corporations at the time money than actually focusing on what was important at the time, making sure people got the resources that they needed during COVID. And there was also all the scandals about companies linked to the Conservative Party making money from the pandemic. He just seems like someone who hops from one opportunity to the other, money grabbing, grifting his position without really any care. And then you have this Stefan guy, he is the former owner of the website Conservative Home and Politics Home. So these two are the owners of YouGov. YouGov, which has been used continuously and weaponized against Harry and Meghan. So what does that tell you? Absolutely not to be trusted. Okay, I'm gonna go to your comments and then we will get on to the next thing. Tony, you said if those security barriers had feet, they wouldn't have shown. Benjamin, you said sometimes I think you're a psychic, but you're a Scorpio. You was the only one who said Kate and Pippa weren't close. Sure enough, it came out they aren't. Forget where I read it. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, thank you. I'm not a psychic. But it's kind of been obvious for a while. I mean, you don't even see Kate close with other women at all. You never see her out and about. Even when you do, she's not with her sister. And I can just imagine how weird the dynamics in that family is. I wouldn't even call it a family. And then there was the whole thing about Pippa's so-called bum, her so-called bum during Kate's wedding. And I think that's where a lot of the bitterness started. I think we have a troll in the chat. Is that you, Pippa? Mary, is that you? Mary, I've never seen you trolling. At the moment we mentioned Pippa today, there you are. Yeah, that's either you or Carol Middleton. Is it James, maybe? And you said the world realized the UK media is all about fake news. No one takes any reporting out of the UK with merit or with any truth. Well, I think they are losing, or their reputation is getting damaged. But I wouldn't say that, you know, everyone is still, everyone realizes that it is fake news. I think there's still a lot of people who do read it as truth. But where more awareness is coming, especially with the Harry's court cases and Rupert Murdoch being exposed and all of that stuff. Wendy, you said, what is it with William and Kate with these out in the wilderness video? The first video with Kate promoting a spring video, yeah. Her telling the the peasants to go outside and touch grass. Did you all hear that that the UK government gave the go-ahead for a geoengineering experiment where they're going to spray particles to block out the sun. This is actually government approved and reported in mainstream media. Like, it's not like a crazy thing. And then you got Kate telling people to go outside and touch grass. Like, go outside and touch grass. They're blocking the sun, babe. I mean, nobody has more grass than Kate. Whole castles. So yeah, you can go outside and touch grass, babe. Not everyone can. Yes, Noella, it's great to see Harry and Meghan happy and prospering, regardless of silly YouGov polls with clear agendas behind them, run by people with their own agendas. Polls can be bought. They don't mean anything. You know, Kate was actually out recently in a rather interesting looking Ava over at Become That Girl Society. She actually did a whole video on the whole copycat thing, and she kind of broke it down and why it was so insidious. Because Kate never used to wear these kind of straight leg, wide at the bottom, light pants before Meghan came into the family. Interesting, Kate recently went back to her coat dress, Mary Poppins cosplay ways, only to now come back to fitted suits. And you said Kate has been so isolated from friends and family that she doesn't even think for herself. I honestly don't think she does. If she ever did. Did she ever? Her whole life was marry a rich aristo. And they somehow managed to figure out how to get into the royal family. When is season 2 of With Love, Meghan? I guess soon. It's been shot, so it's coming soon. Yo, don't forget to go and support Squiddy Hooks. Squiddy Hooks is still very much there. Rahini has also added new colors as well, by the way. What happened to the garden Kate designed? She designed a garden? I have no idea. Yeah, Wendy, she never wore a pantsuit until Meghan. She did wear pants though, but they were always skinny leg. Like, that skinny legs was her signature. On the odd occasion where she did wear it, either at an event or even casually, it was always skinny. It was never a wide pant. It was never a whole pantsuit. Okay. Margaret, you said it's supposed to be in June. Where did you hear that? Anyway, it is coming, so let's just be patient. All right, on to the next thing. Oh, Harry and Meghan were at a James Taylor concert. I don't know who James Taylor is, but apparently he's got a hell of a lot of fans because that was a full arena. and they went backstage and he signed both books for Archie and Lily. Adorable. Any James Taylor fans in the back? It's great that they can just hop in, hop out, have a good time. They were still freaking out about the Beyonce concert. And Harry and Meghan were like, oh, we also went to James Taylor concert. They probably go to stuff all of the time. And we just don't know, as we shouldn't. I mean, Harry was scuba diving with manta rays in Hawaii. Nobody knew about that. Natasha, I'm very young. I'm 34. I don't know who he is. I'll Google him and listen to a couple songs. Okay, on to the next thing. On them for going to concerts and having a good time, just being able to do so in private. By the way, Liz Jones, a Harry and Meghan hater, One of the worst, actually. She either got a call from the palace or her initial headline for this Daily Mail article wasn't getting the hate clicks that her editor wanted, so she changed the title. So initially she posted, Meghan has won, Harry's interview and the couple's Beyonce night out prove that she has got everything she ever wanted, and this is why I admire her. Oh, the haters are becoming fans. Anywho, that was then changed not too long after to the startling truth about Meghan and Harry's relationship after their big night out and why it's a lesson for Charles and the royals. So it still has a somewhat supportive tone, but the beginning, the startling truth. Like they just had to make it sound a little bit more sensationalist. I actually don't think that they got a call from the palace. I think that Liz Jones's editor probably said, this doesn't sound enough like a hater article. You need to change the headline at least to make it sound like one so we can get more clicks. I remember in my last podcast, I talked about how the AI and the algorithm on Google, how that's affecting websites like the Daily Fail. So this all plays into that. Also, we have not had any leaks from Montecito until a Beckham showed up. So this started doing the rounds that Harry and Meghan had a dinner full of executives, power brokers, billionaires, apparently. And the one of the Beckham's kids, the son, with his wife, who's married to another really rich family, were there. They were invited by somebody else who was there. So an invite was extended to them by somebody else who was invited. That invite then suddenly somehow leaked to the tabloids, and the son tried to imply that they were there for a secret dinner to help Brooklyn and Nicola, oh yeah, Brooklyn, that's his name, resolve their personal issues. There's issues going on between the Beckham family and this girl's family. And they tried to spin it that, you know, the Sussexes are somehow in the middle, helping these two families with their family issues, which is ridiculous. First of all, there has been so much written about some kind of feud between the Beckhams and the Sussexes, and neither Victoria or David, still gunning for that knighthood, have tried to correct those rumors. Complete contrast to somebody like Gwyneth Paltrow, who shut down the rumors immediately. And so I don't see why Harry and Meghan would involve themselves in this other family's personal issues. The Beckhams are a very, you know, they're as a family, you know, they've got their Beckham name, and they're very headstrong. And apparently, this other family, I believe that Nicola has multiple brothers. They're also very, very headstrong. So I think that you've got a clash of these two families for whatever reason. I don't see that Harry and Meghan would want to get involved in that. But it's interesting that this leaked. And there were all those other executives and power brokers and billionaires there. None of them leaked. We never get leaks. So who leaked? All of a sudden, a Beckham and his wife shows up and there's leaks. Highly suspicious. I don't think they'll be getting an invite again. All right. Do we have a troll in the chat? Do we have a troll in the chat? Yeah, the Beckhams are I like more recently I've been seeing things from them that just kind of make me side eye. Like I've honestly never had a issue with the Beckhams. Yeah, they made their money honestly, sportsman, pop star, designer. But because of the shade that Harry and Meghan keep getting and the fact that they're not correcting it, and then David put, you know, cozying up to the royals, that's what's been making me side eye them a lot more recently. Rahini, you're saying they want to control their son. Well, I'm not gonna make any assumptions because I actually don't know too much about the ins and outs of this whole thing. But I can imagine when you got these two really wealthy families, sometimes there's gonna be issues. Wendy, you said Meghan's mood boards were so beautiful, a love story of their lives over 7 years. Yes. And Meghan has been a mood board Pinterest girly. Oh, Kevon Slims, thank you so much for the super chat. You said, I'm a new fan of Harry and Meghan. Welcome to the space. And I've been going back and looking at their journey, and I can see why the British media and royal family hates them. Like at their wedding, they said, like at their wedding, when Harry said, I will, the crowds outside went insane. Yes. And they've been going insane for them since. If you thought they were insane at the wedding, Kevon, have you seen the clip that sent high blood pressure in the royal household through the roof from Harry and Meghan's Oceania? When Harry and Meghan were on the balcony, it was at night. All those camera phones, the flashes, you all that have been there, you know the footage I'm talking about. Go and see the footage from their tours, the crowds. Like the wedding was nothing. They've been jealous. Because unfortunately, you've got this order in the royal household. King has to come first, everybody else fall in line, in order. And it's just been to their detriment that they don't want to do things differently. Thank you so much, Kevon, and welcome to the space. Hope you feel inspired and welcomed here. Appreciate your donation also. Rohini, I don't think Meghan hosted the dinner. Well, I read somewhere else that it was the Tracy Robbins, and that it was at her house. I don't know. Oh yeah, here we go. The CEO of Paramount and his wife had the dinner, not Harry and Meghan. Well, they're all in the same circle, right? Have a good day at work, Rahini. Yes, you do remember Squiddy Hooks on Instagram and go check us out. See if there's anything you like. Elegant James Taylor is a classic. You are a baby. You know, I showed my little sister the Missy Elliott Get Your Free Corn video. I say little sister, she's actually like 17, 18. So she's not like little. I showed her the Missy Elliott Get Your Free Corn video. Famous video from the 90s hip hop era. Probably one of the most famous hit song in the US and the UK and across Europe and most other places. And do you remember how many people featured in that song? Like the who's who of hip hop and producing and R&B was in that video. And I showed her the video. She couldn't name a single person. I was like, not even Ludacris, Swiss Beats, Timbaland. Like that made me feel so old. She did like the song though. She was like, "Oh, I see why it's a classic," but she didn't know anyone in the video. She didn't know anyone in the music video. That's what made me feel so old. I'll check out James Taylor though. I'll check him out. If Meghan likes it, I'm gonna try and like it. Meghan was wearing flip flops. I'm gonna go wear flip flops. Okay. Okay, that's all I had to say about the royals. I want to end this video by saying shout out to all the women standing up for themselves in the face of abuse. Cassie giving her testimony in court this past week, pregnant, heavily pregnant. I believe Cassie actually coming to give evidence was to build a larger case for charges to Diddy. So she didn't actually like have to be there because She's already settled with Diddy for millions, and she deserves every single penny. Halle Bailey, for filing a restraining order against her dusty baby daddy. This one makes me so angry because this was completely avoidable. I am begging the girlies to know their worth. Ladies, don't date down. Don't date down. Don't date people who aren't healed. Make sure you heal yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to choose better. Sky Jackson also has unfortunately been, involved in domestic violence situation with her baby daddy for some time. This is another Disney star, both Disney stars. She's now filed a restraining order. I do wonder if she maybe looked at Halle's and thought, I need to get myself out of this. Sometimes these things do, have effect when people see and they, get confidence from other women. You also had Chris Brown posting free Tory only to fly to the UK to start his tour and get arrested and jailed. Yeah, that divine feminine isn't playing around. There was actually a warrant out on him. I didn't know about this from 2023. He viciously attacked a producer with a bottle, kicked him on the floor repeatedly. He actually had to be on crutches. I didn't know this. This is how badly he beat him up. This guy didn't change. I'm happy to say I haven't been a fan of Chris Brown since that whole Rihanna incident. He's actually just gotten worse. And what's interesting about this case with Chris Brown is I don't believe that it's actually the victim that is gone ahead to press the charges. I think the Crown Prosecution Service are the ones that are going ahead. So they waited for him to come back, approved his visa. He came in the country, tweeted free Tory, and now his ass is arrested. He's now reprimanded. He is in custody for another few weeks. Incredible. Karma isn't playing around with any of these dudes, and it shouldn't. And also shout out to Cassie's husband. Incredible statement that he put out about his wife. He said, over the past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cassie. People were actually belittling this man for choosing to stay with his beautiful wife and choosing to stand by his family. And I think this is his statement is one of the most beautiful things I've ever read. He also says, I did not save Cassie. Cassie saved Cassie. Powerful. There's this idea that if you're a woman and you've been abused, that you're not worthy of love, that you can never find love again, that you're somehow ruined. And I think it's important for men to speak out like this. Nothing but respect for this man. I wish them all the happiness in the world. They're having another child, a boy. And he also says that he has so much respect for her because, by Cassie speaking out, she's made the world just a little bit safer for her kids and for other people. Amazing. Right, that's all I had to say about that. Praying for my girlies. Please know your worth and please get please, if you have the courage to speak out, the more people speak out about abuse, assault, the less weight there will be on people coming behind you to speak out about it as well. It's why I spoke about what happened to me in Bali. And thank you to everyone who showed me support when I spoke about that. I swear, like twice a year, my country just does something very, very messy, and it makes me so proud. And this is one of those moments. Fully proud to be British this week. Approved his visa only to bang him up. Anywho, with that, we finished. I'm going to end with your comments and then we will wrap things up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kevon, again. You said the Australia trip was insane, but they were requested in Morocco. That must have, when they were requested in Morocco, that must have stung. Yes. And the trip to Morocco, that was specifically requested. Wasn't it by Theresa May at the time? Who was the prime minister at the time? I don't even think that wasn't even a royal household thing. They wanted Harry and Meghan to go. So there were people in government that saw the value of Harry and Meghan and likely still do. Yes, Wendy, the royals want the accolades without the work. We just don't live in that time anymore. That time is gone. I saw a clip some time ago and it was the Queen Mother arriving at some kind of royal event and she was dripping in diamonds, honey. Dripping. And this wasn't, I don't even think that this was for like a state banquet or anything like that. Like this was at a time when it was still normal for the like royals to just roll up in diamonds anywhere, anyhow. It was a different time. Things have changed. You know, the allure is gone. Yeah, Gwenda, I haven't been listening to the trial. I actually clocked out of the Diddy thing like maybe a week after. I was following teaser tells, but it just got more dark, more ridiculous, more twisted, more nasty, and my soul just can't take any of that in. And I just have so much respect for Cassie. What a brave and beautiful soul. Yeah, Rhonda, that was a tough testament. I mean, to be honest, so much was already publicly, in the public domain. But for her to now take the stand and say it in front of him and his family, I just, that level of strength, nobody should ever have to have that level of strength. But the fact that she did, nothing but respect. Natasha, why is Diddy T so yellow? Because he's been gnashing on jail bars. That's why they're so yellow. His daughters were there. I'm like, why would you want your daughters there? Listening to all of that. Weaponizing your family. They were also, by the way, paying people $20 to wear t-shirts in support of Diddy outside of the courthouse. So they could take pictures and make it look like Diddy has support. Unfortunately, he does. New dating standard. Do you support Diddy? Do you support Chris Brown? Do you support DDG, DBD, ABCDEYF? Do you support these dusties? That should be the question that you ask when you go on a date. Because it's a great litmus test. Do you support abusive men? Oh my gosh. Listen, shout out to the men who are like Cassie's husband. Shout out to the Harrys of the world. Shout out to the Dougs of the world. We see you and we're grateful. Yeah, Mina, I'm so glad these women are standing up for themselves and not taking abuse anymore. I think these situations happening with celebrities, I think it does give people more confidence to come out. more victims of abuse, including male victims of abuse. Diddy was also abusing men. I believe Chris Brown's victim, this case, I believe that victim was actually also a man. Oh my goodness, yes. Heather, I did see Rihanna's blue dress and her with ASAP and the umbrella, and it was raining. It would look like the Harry and Meghan's famous picture, right? Incredible. It really did look like that. Sorry, I don't have a picture. Yeah, I'm glad they're not keeping quiet, speaking the truth in the face of all this hate, because it's how we get change. But I hope all of these women, especially the younger girls like Halle and Sky Jackson, these are young women who maybe because they didn't have enough support around them, or maybe I believe actually both of them come from homes where abuse was present, and that's why it's so important for you to do your own healing. Otherwise, you perpetuate those cycles. I wish better for both of them. Angelini said, I'm so proud of Cassie and I wish her and her family all the best. I hope she gets a safe and healthy delivery. This was a lot for her, but she saved many by her courage. Indeed. Indeed, she did. Saved many, healed many. And if her testimony is going to be used as part of a wider case, hopefully also helped, other people that are going to take the stand. All right, I'm going to end with Prudence. God's divine blessings on our faves and each of us lives always. Thanks, Duchess of Success. Thank you to you also as well. Much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you if there's any news tomorrow. Ciao. I'm not going to play the outro music, folks, but love you still. Ciao.